right, thank you for joining us. This is our very first JNR professional development series, and we are delighted to have our very own editors-in-chief joining us here today. Do you want to briefly introduce yourselves?
Sure. So I am Dr. Junie Paula Warrington. I am an assistant professor at the University of Mississippi Medical Center in the Department of Neurology, and I am one of the ICs at JNR.
Hey, good morning. My name is Cristina Ghiani. I'm professor at UCLA in the Department of Pathology and Psychiatry, and I've been with JNR for a very long time.
All right, great. And my name is Dr. Hilary Marusak. I'm an assistant professor in psychiatry and behavioral neurosciences at Wayne State University School of Medicine. I'm also the social media editor here at JNR, and I'm excited to pass it over to one of our interns.
Hi, I'm Nikki Zabik. I'm a PhD candidate also at Wayne State University School of Medicine, and I study PTSD in the endocannabinoid system. So this first series, we're going to be talking about just being involved in journals in general, and this will be sort of specific to JNR, just to get a little bit more information about how to get involved in JNR and just reviewing papers in general. So I'm going to first ask Paula, what are the benefits of reviewing papers?
Okay, so depending on which stage of your career you are, reviewing papers would help build your CV. For a lot of junior investigators, it allows you to see how other people write the paper. It gives you an opportunity to understand and critique a paper, which is a critical skill that's necessary for success as a researcher in academia. Yeah, so as you're going on in your career, it will also provide you with evidence of your claim, I guess, in the field and your expertise in the field as you're invited more and more to review papers. So you're considered an expert in a particular research area. So overall, there are numerous benefits to reviewing.
Great. All right. So I have a question for Christina on kind of the other end of things. So what are the benefits of serving on an editorial board or getting involved in leadership? And then it's kind of a two-part question. So what does a handling editor actually do? Big question.
Yeah. So journal editor, depending on the level, so the first thing we do evaluate is how solid is the science, right? So that takes a little longer because you don't want to be a mean reviewer or someone really, too harsh. In the same way, you want to give constructive criticism. But most importantly, there are a series of things and how much the paper contributes to the field. So that's really important. That is valid for anything, reviews, papers, and all that. And then you need to evaluate whether the paper actually fits within the scope of the journal. Sometimes you also want to go a little out of the scope. So it's important not to be too rigid. Some things can be, still published in, for instance, in JNR, even though they don't completely fit. It's important that we promote the journal as much as we can. And then, so that's, there are different levels of editors, right? As an editor-in-chief, we have to kind of distribute the papers that we receive. So first of all, decide whether the paper is solid enough to go to the associate editor or topic editor, and then decide whether, who of the associate editor is the most adequate to evaluate the paper. If you work as an associate editor, then at that point you can even tell the editor-in-chief, I don't think this, because you're the associate editor is going to be an expert in their field. Therefore, they will know better than the editor-in-chief. Sometimes we receive papers that I have no idea about it. So I'm learning. So being an editor is great because you learn a lot. On the other hand, you have also to admit, I have no idea. So sometimes you send papers to other editors and they come back as no, this is not good. There is all these problems. So, it's not a good paper, or it's not, it's just is just something that doesn't contribute more to the field. So that's the job of the handling editor. And then if they decide that the paper is good and should go out for review, then they select the reviewers. And that's the harder part, especially right now. I think people are really burnt out. We're having a really hard time finding reviewers. It can take a long time, which affects the journal a lot, because we have some associate editor that are incredible. They get 2 reviewers like this, and some others, we all struggle with that. So at the point also, the handling editor has to evaluate the reviews, the comments that he gets, and then make a recommendation to the editor-in-chief. And then as editor-in-chief, we also have to check for other things, like, is it important statistical editor see the paper, and so on.